Hi guys, Blake and Jackson here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina, Lake Taneycomo, Branson, Missouri. It's like maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. Probably not quite 10 o'clock yet. We are setting up here. We're just a little bit below Andy Williams's house. Get out here in some deeper water. Today I'm back again with some fly rods. I did bring a jig rod just in case, but water is off again. It's going to be off till 4 o'clock today, and they're going to kick on 1 unit and then 4 units and then, or 2 units, 4 units, and then 2 units and then off again. But we're going to start off with a yellow megaworm that I have trimmed to a very short piece and remelted the end so it wouldn't fray. And about 5 foot above that, I have one of those new indicators that actually kind of splits either side of the line that we just got into the shop not too long ago. And yesterday, after I turned the video off, I picked up one of these that I had trimmed, one of these yellow megaworms, and they were eating it equally as good, if not better, than they were eating that micro jig yesterday. So we're gonna give that a try to start. I've also got a white thread mini jig tied on. And then I have my 1/32 ounce jig rod with me. This morning, real early this morning, right at the beginning of the day when we were opening the dock, I was standing there talking to Captain Blake Harris, and a second cast, throwing a 1/32 ounce jig off the dock, landed a 23.5 inch rainbow. So I know that the 1/32 ounce jig was at least working earlier this morning for a couple of fish. So I brought that with me just in case. Yesterday when I tried this megaworm, they wouldn't even let it sink all the way down underneath the indicator before they'd come over and grab it. So we're already not off to as hot of a start as we were yesterday, but that's all right. I know that Captain Harris and Captain Steve Dickey, oh, he was going for it. Both started their trips off this morning throwing the pink power worm. They both came back with limits of fish rather quickly. I saw a lot of fish moving in the same area that I fished yesterday, but I wanted to come and try a different area this morning. But if we don't get any action in this area, we might just have to cruise back down to where we were yesterday. Sometimes it's just about being in the area of the lake where the fish are actively feeding at. Seeing quite a few midges flying around. I'm quite positive that throwing a midge would probably work well. But I've been wanting to try all the other small items that work good when the water is off. Scoot out a little deeper. That kind of shallowed up on me there. I've got this set at about 5 foot right now. I like for my mega worm to eventually, once it floats down, to hit the bottom and then kind of pull it up off the bottom, but I also like it to be deep enough to kind of be right there at that. Don't want all the line laying on the bottom either. Oh, we also had a group of guys that brought in a trophy brown yesterday, throwing Rapala jerkbaits. Brought in another trophy brown this morning, also throwing Rapala jerkbaits. Yesterday they said they had on 2 other bigger browns than the ones they brought in that both got away from them. But they have been having a lot of success the last couple of mornings throwing those Rapala floating jerkbaits. The brown that they brought in this morning was 23.5 inches long and weighed 5.75 pounds. We had one little bite back there, but so far, too many takers here. One thing that's a little bit different this morning than yesterday was we did, for the most part, have at least some chop on the water. Right now, the water is dead still.
Still one cast?
Yes, sir. I haven't seen old Captain Pete Leonard in a while.
Back.
He's back.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. That was Captain Pete Leonard. Imagine we're about to see a lot more of him as the school comes to an end. He is one of the coaches at the Hollister School District. I could be mistaken. I want to say the girls' basketball coach is one of the titles he holds. Oh, there's a fish. Stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there. There we go. Found one taker for the yellow mega worm. Yeah, when you trim, if you want to try this method, when you trim that yellow mega worm, or any mega worm, you want to make sure that you have a lighter and singe the very end of it again, or else those worms will come unfrayed most of the time. Whenever they tie a normal mega worm and they cut the material there at the very tail, they generally use a flame to singe it up just a little bit. So if you do trim your mega worm, make sure you got a lighter so that you can re-singe it, or you will be going through a lot of mega worms. And just to reiterate from yesterday, all the things we're doing right now, even a midge fly. You know, you don't have to throw it on a fly rod. You can just use a lightweight rod with 2-pound line, or even just tie a leader. There was another bite. There we go. We found some hungry fish down here by the tennis court. Get one of those weighted corks and some fine tippet material, or just a rod with straight 2-pound line, and tie your fly on the end and set your weighted cork above. The trick on the spin cast rod is just to make sure that you don't have too much slack in between your bobber and the end of your rod. That way you can get to the hook set as quickly as possible. And you just want to make sure you've got your drag tuned finely, because you're fighting it on that 2-pound line or fine tippet material. There's another one. Stop it. He's not wanting to hold still very well. Those barbs can really get stuck pretty good sometimes. All right. Those guys who are catching the browns the last couple days on the jerk baits told me that they've all been generally within about a mile of our dock, working the different bluff banks and the wooded areas over there. Oh, look at that. I made a bad cast. Oh, there we go. It came untangled. Got some fish midging in the background behind me here. Quite a few midge flies actually coming off right behind me. I think we'll go too much longer. Keep it a little shorter today, but mega worm is still effective. I think there's a chance that those fish were just really happy yesterday too. Having the chop on the water also helped out a little bit. I think that if I had some micro jigs with me, that I would still be catching some fish on those.
Cast?
I'm doing the one cast right now. Oh, and I missed one.
I watch you every night.
Oh, thank you.
Every night.
Thank you very much. Well, you made the show today.
One of the things that got me started, except my son got me started, and you just kind of continued.
We just helped further the addiction.
Yeah, this is an education for me. I'm a bass fisherman.
Uh-huh, yeah.
This is something different. It's a heck of a lot of fun.
Oh, yes it is. Well, thanks for watching.
The only complaint I have with yours, you're always too short. Last longer.
Well, I was thinking about doing a short one today. I don't know. I'm at 20 minutes already.
Pardon?
I said I'm at 20 minutes already on this one.
I'm just learning this fly fishing.
I saw you hooked up down there a second ago. Well, as I was saying, even with the mega worm, once you get it to settle all the way down and it sets there for 5 or 10 or however many seconds, just some length of time after it's sat there without any action on it, you want to wiggle your line or move the indicator and get that thing picked up and off the bottom and moving back down again. I feel like most of the time it's whenever I'm moving the mega worm that I get my strike, or right after I've moved it and it's settling back down. Oh, set the hook, Blake. I was actually pretty fast on that one. I'm not sure that he ever had the hook in his mouth. Might have just had a hold of the fluffy part of my worm. There we go. We got him to connect that time. There we go. That's the quick release. I like that release when they're small. Brett said that fish doesn't count. I haven't seen it happening yet, but I also haven't been up here but yesterday with the water off. When the water turns off, a lot of the time you'll see that even the fins, the back of the trout hanging out right over there on the edges of the banks, like right again, and they're sitting over there right on the edge eating scuds. That is another fun method. You can kind of target a fish specifically. You have to use that pulsa indicator, something really light, and a small scud. But that is a very fun way to target fish. And you've got to be very ginger when you do it. You got to place the cast right. You got to get your line to land properly on the water. It can't land too hard. But it's a very finesse, fun method to come out here and do when the fish are on that pattern, which they may be. I just haven't, yesterday was my first day on the lake since I got back from Columbia after the water being off, so I haven't had much time to look around and see if that's what they're doing yet. Well, I also brought that white thread jig with me, but I think we'll save that one for another episode, maybe tomorrow. Or maybe we'll throw the 1/32 ounce jig and get out a little earlier in the morning. But between the number of bites I've gotten, missed, and the fish I've landed, I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark on the mega worm. I haven't tried the full-length mega worm. I imagine it would probably be pretty effective too. I just feel like you get a lot more hook sets whenever they're willing to eat it at a shorter length. But we thank you guys for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook. We'll be back out again to do it tomorrow. Thanks, guys.